going to work an example where we're going to graph a line by first finding the x-intercept and the y-intercept. This particular problem is similar to example 18 on our comp exam review. And so we are to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept for this equation and then graph the line. And so when we're finding x-intercepts, let's make sure we understand what it is we're looking for. I've got an orange line graphed over here on this coordinate plane, and so this coordinate plane is simply taking an x number line and connecting it to another number line that's perpendicular to it. So here's our number line for x, here's our number line for y, and we put those two together, and then we find points. And when we're talking about a point, we're talking about how far we go in the x direction and how far we go in the y direction to get to that point. So over here we have a point that's on the x-axis. That would be an x-intercept. When we are at an x-intercept, how far have we moved? This is our origin. This is the point 0, 0, because x is 0 right here in the middle and y is 0 in the middle. When we are over here at this point that touches the x-axis, how far have we moved up or down? How far in the y direction? Y 0. So y is equal to 0 when we are at an x-intercept. Let's look at a y-intercept right here where we're at a point that's on the y-axis. This is a y-intercept. When we're at that particular point, how far have we moved in the x direction to the left or right of our origin? 0. So when we're at a y-intercept, x is equal to 0. So that's how we're going to find our x and our y-intercepts. We find x-intercepts by setting y equal to 0. We find y-intercepts by setting x equal to 0. And so let's look back at example 18 now. So let's first find our x-intercept, since that's the first blank over there. The x-intercept, remember we're going to set y equal to 0 to find it, is going to be 2x minus 5 times 0, so I'm just plugging in 0 for y, is equal to 10. 5 times 0 is 0. That means I really just have 2x is equal to 10. Divide both sides by 2, and I get x is equal to 5. Now, we are told over here, under the line, it says, as a point. We are not supposed to give this answer as x equals 5. We're to write it as a point. So our x value, remember when we're writing points, we put our x value first and then we put our y value. Well, my x value for my x-intercept is the number I just found. It's a 5. My y value, we said we were setting y equal to 0. So at an x-intercept, your y value is always 0. So my x-intercept is the point 50. Now let's find the y-intercept. So we find a y-intercept by setting x equal to 0. So let's do that. Remember the problem said 2x minus 5y equals 10. So I'm just going to rewrite that again so you can see it. I'm going to set x equal to 0 this time. 2 times 0 minus 5 times y is equal to 10. This part becomes 0, so I have negative 5y equals 10. And now I divide both sides by negative 5, and that gives me y is equal to negative 2. And so what point is that? What was my x value that I had when y was negative 2? Well, my x value, remember, is 0. We said for y we get negative 2, so that's the point 0, negative 2. And so now we're to graph this on a coordinate plane. So on the comp exam, you're going to find a box over here that's just got a bunch of grid lines on it. You're going to have to draw your x and your y axis. So just come in there and draw the axis wherever you feel like is a good place based on what your x and y intercept are. You have to be able to fit them on there, right? And so we could put it like this. This could be my x line. This could be my y line. And so your box is going to look something like this. You're going to come in there and you're going to put your axis on there, wherever you choose to do it, so that you can fit your 2 points on there. And so here is my x-axis and my y-axis, And so for my x-intercept, I have to come out, so there would already be grid line marks on here. I'm going to come out 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to put a dot right there. I'm going to call that the point 5, 0, because that's what it is. And then I'm going to come down to the point 0, negative 2. So I come back to the origin, I go down by 2, and that's going to be right here. This is the point 0, negative 2. Go ahead and label them so I'll know what points it is that you're trying to show on your graph. And here's the number line that goes through those 2 points, and we're done.